Hello guys, Matt Lemke here. Today we're going to take a look at the One Ring from Free League Publishing. This is role-playing in the world of Lord of the Rings, so it's very Tolkien-esque. Diving right in, you open it up, you get some great art right off the bat with this map. I'm not sure who drew this map, but they did an excellent job. I love the color on it. I love the little things that you may miss initially, like the symbols for north, east, south, and west. Little names down in the corner, Rohan, things of that nature. The lone lands. And then you turn the page, and you see the table of contents. This is a style that Free League, I think, does in all of their books. I don't own every book they have, but I've seen this a lot with Free League's books. And basically you have prologue, and then you have everything underneath it. The first 13 pages or so are about the world of the game and what leads into the role-playing game, The One Ring. As you might expect, the art is going to be very beautiful. And they have like two kind of different styles with their sketches. They got some stuff that's really, I think this is a higher level of detail than this, but this focuses more on contrast and shadowing kind of thing. And you get a lot of that. You get the little sidebars throughout the book. With that said, I have not yet played this game. But you can see that this is not the standard D20-esque version. This is not the 5th edition version of the rules. I bought the original rules because I wanted to play them in I wanted to play something different. And again, I haven't played that yet. And the reason why I'm doing the flip through now is because my Mines of Moria from the Kickstarter arrived the other day. So, structure of the game, basically you have an adventuring phase, you have passage of time, the fellowship phase, and tying it all together. So the adventuring phase session is played in a series of scenes connected. Basically, it's your storyline. The fellowship phase is concluded. When adventuring phase is concluded, the fellowship phase starts with players narrating what their characters do when they finally return from their adventuring. So downtime is going to be important as well. And then you tie it all together. That's the third phase of the game. Now, in action and resolution, wow, that is really some great art. Action and resolution, you start getting into how to make your rolls, when you would roll. Oh, and one thing I do want to mention too is a lot of role-playing games have tried to do the whole parchment paper thing. And I think they kind of fail sometimes because they put it on a glossy or an embossed paper and it reflects too much back and you can't see it. Or they get the color a little bit too dark and it blends with the letters. No one has done as good a job with parchment-esque style feel of a book, in my opinion, than Free League has with this book and probably Moria. I haven't even opened it up yet. It's still wrapped. Okay, so how to read the successes. It teaches you how to do that. Target numbers, degree of successes. And again, more great art. I love the fact that the art is, I'm going to call it black and white even though it's on slightly brownish paper, which I think you lose some of the color with my lighting. It looks more off-white. This is kind of a pale yellowish brown. There are not a lot of charts from what I can see. Conditions. You know what? I should probably grab my glasses. So you have different conditions, obviously, when you're going to have things in battle. You're going to have well, now it starts to go over your character sheet. Their character sheet, I think I have one in the back, is a little bit different. Here, we'll go like that. And we'll zoom in here. So, you have your heroic culture, which I believe is basically your class. I haven't gotten into it yet. Your different blessing, your calling, how old you are, your patron, your treasure, a shadow path, not sure what that is yet. And then your 3 attributes are basically strength, heart, and wits. And then you have your skills. There's what? Looks like about 18 skills. And then your combat proficiencies, how proficient you are with the different types of weapons, your rewards, and virtues, which we'll get into that. I do want to do a character creation video on this at some point in time. Maybe I will learn how to make a character at Gen Con and save myself some time from reading some of the rules. And then Chapter 3, you get into the adventures, which is where it starts to talk about the things that we just slightly discussed with your characters. To create a character, player must choose a heroic culture. And the heroic cultures are Bardings, Dwarves of Durin, Elves of Linden, Hobbits of the Shire, Men of Bree, and Rangers of the North. Oops, sorry about that. I was off. I zoomed out. So I was right. That is your cultures. And then they start going into the descriptions of them in... I think the first one's on page 32. But real quick, they go over the skills and the combat proficiencies. If you have no rating, you're untrained, and it goes all the way up to heroic, which is the prodigious skill level. There's distinctive features. Bardings are basically Northmen of noble origins. So these are your slightly well-to-do people. It comes with a set stat of skills. And let's see, so each character or each class entry is about 2 pages. You have your Dwarves of Durin, the Elves of Linden, Hobbits of the Shire, interesting, Men of Bree. Oh, one thing you should note, every section has a little thing on like how to name your character, male names, female names, and family names, to give you an idea, to give you some of that cultural flair. So Rangers of the North. Interesting. So with combat proficiencies in this case, you get to choose spears or swords to be level 2, so you could be a spearman or a swordsman, and then choose one more combat proficiency that you're skilled at level 1. Or it's probably not a level. Hey, you know what? I wonder. Interesting. Real quick. I don't see anything on levels here. And the character sheet is just 1 page. So I will have to dive into how you do that. So then you have callings, and these are what pulled you into adventuring, I think. So leaving home and setting off the road, courageous choice. Yes, this is kind of what you choose to or how you're pulled into adventuring. So, champion. You deem that there is but one way to oppose the return of the shadow, and that is to conquer it by strength of arms. So you get to choose 2 skills: athletics, awe, and hunting, and mark them as favored. So this is like a little background prep. Depending on what kind of character you're playing, they've got everything from captains, messengers, scholars, treasure hunters, a warden, and then you have a section on previous experience, starting gear. The book has a nice little red tab. I have found that these are very helpful for GMing. Your starting gear, great art for your starting gear. This book is really great. So, and that's what I was saying. The art, they like took 2 different styles for the art in the book and used them differently and appropriately. Then you have all your armor and your gear. One thing the book does not have a lot of is a lot of, like, I mean, it has tables and charts, but it's not art heavy in the sense like you'll get a full page here. You get your full pages of art when you shift chapters, basically. So here you have characteristics. This is where you're going to start defining your skills a little bit more. Probably your weapon proficiencies, yes. And your distinctive features, which distinctive features are aspects of your build, your temperament, your personality, and it helps flavor how you're going to roleplay your character. So there is a list of distinctive features on page 44. Oh, those are the callings, my bad. There are 24 distinctive features for the One Ring. 6 additional ones are exclusive to callings and are described on page 44. But so you have bold, cunning, eager, faithful, and we'll read one of these. We'll read rustic. Your ways are simple. Some might say even uncouth, but you know that not all of the gold does not necessarily glitter. That's interesting. That's like saying career matters more than your money. And I think it does. And then you have endurance and hope. Endurance and hope are what keep your adventures going. So these are 2 different characteristics that help you survive longer. So let's see. For endurance, there are different. I'm going to go with. There's different degrees, and they affect your character's abilities. So there's weary for endurance and resting, and then hope has miserable, recovering hope. And there's a little section here on serious injuries. Endurance loss would not be confused with being wounded, while being hit in combat results in loss of endurance. Adventurers are only at risk of death when hit by a piercing blow. Well, I think that's probably pretty good. I remember back in the 90s there was a Lord of the Rings game that I played, and you pretty much didn't want to be in combat because if you got hit, you died. And then you have your different standards of living, which basically gives you your loot or your starting loot, and then it goes into describing all of the different weapons and equipment that you can have. And then you have the next chapter is Valor and Wisdom, which is largely about how you measure your heroics or your heroism. So you have Wisdom, which is basically your self-confidence, and then you have Valor, which is a measure of your courage. And obviously different characters are going to have different degrees of both of those. And then you have virtues, which are abilities that complement what you've already chosen. And then you have cultural virtues, which all cultural virtues describe abilities that can be employed under specific circumstances. For example, cram. You have been taught the ancient recipe of cram, a biscuitish cake that keeps good indefinitely, made by your folk for your long journeys. Albeit certainly not entertaining, it's doubtlessly sustaining and very nutritious. Each time you gain a fatigue from journey event, you gain 1 point less. Additionally, when you take a short rest, you and all members of the company regain an extra amount of lost endurance equal to your wisdom rating. Well, that sounds really good. All right, moving right along. Again, great art throughout the book. The farther back you get, it seems like the more art there is. And then you get into the adventuring phases, which is basically, this is where the GM section starts of the book, and that's on page 90-ish. And then you just keep going. What is this? This is resolving attacks. The attack roll, an attack roll is made using combat proficiency corresponding with the weapon used, as seen on page 65. Difficulty attack. The difficulty for all attack rolls made by adventurers against player heroes are equal to the target hero's parry score instead. Which, as I learn how to play the game, I will get more into. Council. They call social encounters council, which is a good way to look at that. All right. Again, so the book is full of art. Oh, so fellowship, the fellowship phase actually has its entire chapter all to itself, and it looks like they chose Lake Town for Fellowship. Okay, so this is basically how a Fellowship phase works. It has a structure, set duration, choose the destination, perform updates, and choose undertakings. And I'm just going to jump right to undertakings. Maybe. Undertakings are time-consuming endeavors the player's heroes accomplish exclusively by lengthy stop, like a Fellowship phase. Wow, they even say that it could be the passage of years. That is interesting. So there's a lot of role-playing opportunities in the One Ring. And then the Lore Master, which is Chapter 8, is where you really get into, I'm going to look at it again. Lore Master is actually running the game, is one of the largest chapters of the book. They have breakdown of framing the scenes, describing the consequences, and advanced gameplay. And then they get into how to be a better lore master, basically. They go over the qualities. They tell you how to be a narrator. I really can't wait to read this portion of the book. I enjoy using a lot of these things, and I get something different from every role-playing book, basically, I get something new out of everyone. And Lore Master characters, these are basically your NPCs. How to play the Shadow. The Shadow actually has points and stuff. This is interesting. I will get into that in more detail at a later date. Alright. Well, I'm going to move right along. Look at that picture. And then they have some generic evil men. Probably some generic evil orcs or trolls. I don't know if they're evil. That does not look like a troll to me. It looks like a troll dog. It's a great picture though. Stone trolls, stone troll chief, the undead. They've got to be brutal in this game. And wolves of the wild, followed by treasure hordes. That'll be an interesting read there. All right, we're gonna move right along to, let's see here, the world, the game world. So, not the shortest chapter in the book, but one that gives you enough information and knowledge about role-playing in this version of the One Ring or the Tolkien world. They have little side things like the Summer Smoke Ring Festival, Goblin Raids, as you go through the different sections of the book. I really kind of want to get back here to the next chapter, which is really the appendix. But one of the things that's neat about the appendix is you have your patrons in it. That was actually Balin? Yeah, that's Balin. You have Bilbo as a patron. Is that Gandalf? You have Gandalf as a patron. And then it talks a little bit about different landmarks and their names. The Star of the Mist. And the very last thing we encounter after the appendix is nameless things. Nameless things can be introduced to the game by a lore master for looking for a formidable adversary. And this is just basically a creation chart to get there. I can't turn the page. You have a rumor mill. You have Gandalf. You have the character sheet, and then you have this journey path map, which is pretty cool. It's basically the same map up front, except it's on a hex grid. So over here you have a little set of instructions on how to do marches, long-term journeys. So there you have it. That's the One Ring, the first look. I haven't got to play it yet. I really want to play using these rules instead of the 5th ed rules, because I wanted to see how different it may or may not be, and I already play enough D20 games. Thank you for watching, guys. I think it is a wonderful book. It's well worth I think I've got a price tag of, I don't remember what the price tag is, but I love the way they built it. It's very durable. It is 300 and some pages, I think. 240 pages, and it's well built. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to see more of the One Ring, let me know in the comments below. Hi guys, meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below, and my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know. You're not going to go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.